Hey there folks, Ryan here from Ryan Bridwell Music. Today we have a special edition. You may notice I'm only taking up a small part of the screen here. We have some special guests today who are going to help me talk about some rhythmic concepts. Let's see if we can get them here. There we go. Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Yeah. All right, great. Okay, so we got some help from the rhythm section today. And that's the whole concept, is the piano can play all the parts. It can simulate an orchestra, it can simulate a jazz band, it can simulate a rock band. You got the whole range of sound here. So today we're going to talk about playing a real simple rock and roll rhythm and how the piano can be used to simulate the sound of what the bass and drums would do in that setting. And well, I guess we'll just kind of start off with the bass line. So, Mr. Bassman, sir, what would you do for just a simple medium tempo rock and roll kind of groove? One chord. You're just on one chord. Simple. All right, so what we can do with that, thank you. On the piano, we can take our little pinky here. This pinky is our bass player. A piano player's pinky has a lot of power. So we can just simulate that here. We're key of E, and we're just going to try to get that going with just the fifth finger of the left hand. And one of the themes of this whole lesson is you want to imagine the whole rhythm going on inside your head, even though you're just playing that part of it. You want to imagine that whole groove. I'm hearing that backbeat in my head. And I also just kind of gave a spoiler alert about what I'm going to ask the drummer. So, Mr. Drummer, sir, now what would you do with that kind of groove?
Well, can I explain something about the drums?
Oh, sure.
So the kick drum and the bass player need to lock together.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to play what he played down here.
Yeah.
And I can add.
Right, now that's what we're going to talk about next on the keyboard here. He brought in that snare drum on the backbeat on the 2 and 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put the thumb of our left hand, and we're going to have that simulate the sound of that snare drum. So without the bass, it sounds like 1, 2, 3. And again, you want to imagine the sound of that snare drum in your mind. Just like when I play, sometimes I imagine, like these guys in front of me, a little rhythm section in my mind, churning all this stuff out. It kind of helps you to hear all the different parts. So you put them together, and you have a nice little, right here with 2 fingers in your left hand, you got a whole little rhythm section. Pretty cool, right? Because then your right hand's free to add all of these other things that can go on. Now, we're not going to get too deep into that today, but the right hand's going to simulate what the drummer might do on his hi-hat. So, Mr. Drummer, sir, could you show me what I'm talking about here with some eighth notes on the hi-hat added to that? Sounds like a beat we've heard before. Just your basic rock and roll rhythm. Very good. So we're going to take the right hand, and remember, we're just in the key of E here, one chord, starting off simple. I'm going to play a nice simple voicing here, and I'm going to play those eighth notes like he was on his hi-hat. I'm just going to do that first. Now you put that with this, and you got the whole rhythm going on. This is just a really beginning way to how the piano can be put together in different parts to simulate what the whole band would do. All right, we're gonna continue with this with different styles and more complicated rhythms, but start with this today. All right, happy practicing.